Look how far we've come, all the things we've done. Did it all with love, beauty from the bottom up. All I want is you, you're my favorite view. But there's nothing more, girl, you make my heart beat.
And we are back.
Welcome back, my bumble bitches.
Love and light, people. Love and light.
Light and love.
We are going to be doing a dumpster fire today that IT guy pulled off of Reddit and put together a document for us. And he warned me that it's going to be a lot.
All right.
So this is going to be a not very serious episode for us in terms of what we do as To Be Better, because this is Friday content. Before we get into that, would you like to talk about what we discussed this morning with the ceremony things? Because we've already talked about the church.
Yeah.
So we're going to be holding ceremony soon. We're waiting on the paperwork to come through. It's already been filed. It's been paid for. Like, I'm literally just waiting on lawyers to get back to me at this point. And I emailed them again this morning to find out like what the holdup is. Because it's been over a month since we paid and like I'm waiting for this.
What's up?
But we looked into EMF mats where you can lay down on an EMF mat that it's got copper and crystals inside of the mat and it's going to do some sort of like EMF field. We looked into red light mats. We've started buying copper bowls so that we can do foot washes.
Yeah.
We've already started buying all the mats, the garbage cans for purging. Like we started really like getting everything together so that ceremonies can start happening. And we realized this morning that you could do Reiki while people are in the medicine.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm down. I need to do something with my bangs. I feel like my hair is not hairing for me today.
I have this problem every day. I never know what to do with my hair.
Oh God, it's so hard.
It sucks.
You are so funny.
Do you want to talk about the whole Reiki and mushroom thing, or?
I do.
Okay.
I need to get settled and figure out how I want to look. So, oh gosh, you guys, my Reiki journey is continuing, and I am ingesting more things like the Law of One, and I am understanding Reiki itself much better outside of the courses that I'm taking and the
you're almost level 3.
teaching. Right. I finished level 2 and I'm taking a break and I'm practicing and I'm learning and now I'm implementing in order to have that life experience, right? And yeah, I'm moving on to my level 3. But with the medicine, since my first mental breakdown, bless you.
Thank you.
Since my first mental breakdown at 25 and I had like my first rebirth into real consciousness and awareness and my actions have repercussions and all these kinds of things, I have felt it's not just me. That's the most simplest way I can say it. It's not just me. And I've always believed in a higher power. And I'm purposely avoiding any type of labeling.
Right.
To allow malleability, I suppose, for the listeners. And, learning Reiki and delving into the chakra system and Eastern Body, Western Mind. Yes, that's the book, Eastern Body, Western Mind. Really understanding I am a soul here on a mission, and this body is just a vessel for me to experience that, and working in tandem with nature. My body is part of nature and I'm here to experience this. So I need to understand the nature of me. It's a whole thing. The point is, I 100% believe being on plant medicine and doing Reiki, however you would like to pronounce it on somebody, and being able to be that channel for the source, the creation, God, whatever. I feel like I've unlocked new levels of understanding and I'm about to be super powerful.
Hey, Palpatine.
Yeah, doing some Doctor Strange shit.
It's funny.
I really want to help heal. And I don't want people, when I say that I'm a Reiki practitioner, I don't want people to think that I'm this unachievable, magical, gifted person. I'm somebody who has sat down and studied and looked crazy moving energy with my hands and feeling my biofield and all. Like, I was willing to look absolutely stupid and insane to gain this understanding. And I'm gaining an understanding that has gone on for thousands of years. This isn't a new concept I'm discovering. And I'm not healing anybody. Right. I'm helping you heal yourself with the energy that you're already accessing.
Yeah. So when we start holding ceremonies, we have to be very careful of how we word things. They cannot be labeled as a healing ceremony.
Yeah.
When people take communion with us and they take the sacred sacrament and they go into ceremony, they're going to get what they get from it. The other things that we are doing around the ceremony is where we can say that we're doing healing modalities, where it comes into Reiki and integration and coaching and things of that nature. We also have your biofield scan thing, the finger scanner that we're going to be implementing with these things. Yeah. So we have a lot of things that we've got going on that we're trying to really incorporate to try to make this a very encompassing experience for people.
I plan on doing a guided meditation before and after. We both plan on doing integration. There's going to be journaling happening. I plan on bringing my tuning forks. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of energy shifting, a lot of movement. I do want to bring the scanner, and I want to do a little session at some point in the weekend to help everybody understand chakras and themselves and the nervous system.
And you didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot planned. Babe, you don't have to think about it. I got you.
I do have to think about it though, because I'm part of all of this. So I have to be in tune with what's happening so that I'm aware.
We can have a conversation. I was going to use our car ride up there to have the big talks of how the whole weekend's going to go. We've had conversations, everybody, like we want this to happen. We want that to happen, this and that and that. And then you have things I'm sure in the back of your mind that
I really want to do guided meditation.
Yeah.
I want to do guided meditation for people as they're coming out of the medicine. Like as, because that you're looking at 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
So, depending on dose. And like if people are coming out at the 6 hour mark, I want to have a scripted guided meditation that walks them through the exit of their journey.
Do you want to do one together?
We could, but I want to type it up and actually read it so that we have a structured plan, because Babe,
that's what I do.
I have this whole thing. I mean, we did it the last time we were in medicine together. So, but it would be cool to have that ready to go.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so am I.
I would. Okay. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to do this here. We could do this off camera, but I don't want to because I'm excited about it. I would love for one of us to start the guided meditation, like welcome them in, and then one of us ends it. So it's like two separate hands holding. Yeah. But they get the individuality of us. Like you create your own story and then I could piggyback off of it and finish it or whatever.
Okay.
We can both have a say in how it goes. We can create the story together. But I want your voice to be heard and then my voice to be heard.
Yeah, we can do that. I have the opening and closing prayers printed out already too. So
beautiful.
Yeah. We're really pushing, like we're ready for this to happen. The moment that we get like here's your church, you're legal from the lawyer, we'll figure out when we're holding our first ceremony for you guys.
Oh my goodness.
But we're ready. At this point, I think that like the only thing that we still need to purchase more of that I haven't bought a bunch of is the copper bowls. And that's going to be just so that we're able to do the foot baths before ceremony or even after, whatever. Yeah. Leave that up to the people who are doing it. If they want to do one or not, they can pick when they do it. But having multiple of those bowls ready to go so that we can have multiple people soaking at once would be a good thing.
And I have 3 separate soaking options.
Yeah. But those bowls are $300 a piece.
Yeah, they're a lot.
So it's not one of those things where I'm going to just go order 10 bowls. Like
I want things in motion
here and there. Right. Yeah. I am interested to see how the Reiki thing goes with, plant medicine.
Yeah.
Because you'll be more open if you're doing a microdose, and the people in the medicine will be very open because they'll be on it. Yeah. So very interested.
I think you're going to see a different aspect of me.
Maybe. Gonna see you as the wild woman with your hair mess and fucking sticks and shit in it.
Maybe.
It's funny. Covered in mud with war paint on your face. Spiritual warfare is fixing to happen and you're going to battle. I don't know why that's where my head went.
Wait.
I just see you guys.
But now I'm serious about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
We can get body paint and
I'm not painting my body.
I will. Can I? Are you okay with that?
You can do whatever you want to do. I don't know. I
just thought of a whole ritual. Yes. You just gave me a brain, baby. Thank you. I didn't mean to interrupt you. So now we're going to bring body paint. I'm going to bring body paint. And for anybody who would like to decorate themselves or help somebody else decorate themselves to go into this journey, I think that would be an amazing somatic release.
Yeah.
I'm also getting licensed to do somatic healing. I think I can legally say that because I'm going to be certified in it.
By then, yeah.
Yeah. That was a genius thing. Thanks for co-signing, babe.
Yeah. For me, it was more of just a mental, like, I've seen what happens when people are having a really hard time or a really emotional experience while doing like intensive breath work with you. And like the Mama Peach situation, it just kind of made sense to me. It was more of a joke and a funny thing, but I mean, if you want to run with it, run with it.
Oh no, now it's real. Yeah. Your cute, loving, adorning thought of me is now a reality. We should bring back black lights.
Yeah, I don't want this to be that.
No.
Yep. I have zero interest in anything tech or anything that can make this look like a drug experience and not a spiritual thing. I want none of that in our ceremonies. I definitely think that having soft lights wouldn't be a bad idea, like maybe a soft orange or...
I plan on bringing my LED candles.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I want to outline a circle.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we absolutely should do that.
Yeah.
But those little tiny tea lights, I don't think are going to be enough.
No.
I think that we should get maybe something smaller than what we have behind our chairs, but bigger than the tea lights, like maybe like little candles.
I can do that.
Like the fake LED candles. Yeah. Guys, can you send me an itinerary so I can sit in my yard and pretend I'm on the other side of the pond? I know it ain't the same, but I've got a good imagination. That's funny. I wonder, dude, you know that for the people who are members of our church, we could actually hold digital ceremonies. I don't know how that would work. That would be a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that we could figure out how to do that though, or do like a situations where we sit for people on the other side of a Zoom call while they have an actual physical sitter and they're in the medicine. As long as they're actual members of the church, I bet we could make that work. I don't know what that would look like or how, but I'm willing to bet that as long as there's somebody else there to manage the tech, we can do the guide work on the other side of the screen.
Well, we could also offer like a free, like the person who's going to be sitting with you, we can have an hour session with them on what they need to do on their end to keep you safe since we can't be there physically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole down the road thing.
Yeah, that is, but I think it's a great idea. It's 100%. I think there's 100% a way to make that work and do it safely. The other person would also have to join the church, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
In order for that to be a legality thing.
Yeah. How would you have people formally join your church? Is that figured out yet? I'm so interested. Once we have the actual church established, we will create our bylaws and then we will create a registration form, and all you got to do is fill out the form and send it in, and that technically makes you a member. So we're waiting on the lawyers to get back to us because they're creating all that shit for us. So
how many?
Let's figure that out after the episode, because there's mathematics that I want to get into, numerology that I want to get into, insights that I want to get into, hours of the day.
This.
There's a lot that goes into things like that for me. So like I have to actually think about it, and we're going to have to talk about it.
Okay.
So
some sacred geometry shit.
A lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm here for this. I would like to be a part of this conversation. I don't want to be an after part.
Well, that's why I said we're going to talk about it after the podcast.
Okay. Specifically, I don't want you to talk to yourself in your brain. I want to be a part of the thought process, not the final product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Given not everywhere can do medicine and pre-recorded ceremony package of other things you offer, the meditation, painting, cacao ceremony recipe and such may work. Yeah. I mean, So if you're in the United States, which I know you're not, I believe you're in Australia, there's a lot that we can do. There's a lot. This is the very opening stages of a whole lot of things for us.
Yeah, this is total life shifting for us.
I want to start doing Sunday live streams for 30 minutes to an hour where we do guided meditation every Sunday. We break down something, whether it's a part of the law of one, we break down Hermetic principle, we do the Tao Te Ching,
Something.
a Bible scripture, like something to create some sort of spirituality to fill your guys' spiritual cup on Sundays. That should be a every Sunday thing, breath work, right? So that we can continue, because we're going to treat this like a legitimate church.
Yeah.
So
I think that I also am going to use this to offer, like, I almost spent a lot of money to become a yoga practitioner. And then my body is very much telling me that yoga is not what I need to be doing to get movement going. So I am looking to do some type of Elo modality, like
Tai Chi or Qigong.
yeah, something like that. But I would like to also do live sessions of that throughout the week. I'm doing a whole reload of my life with the new year. We had a massive hiccup that I still need to make a video about and post. But with this new year, I'm leaning really heavily into offering to be the modality for people to help heal themselves. I don't know how to phrase that because you said we can't do healing, so I don't.
Well, no, we can. We can say healing as much as we want. We just can't say that we are providing healing in ceremony.
Okay.
Ceremony itself
that's the
needs to be
specific
communion with your God or your ancestors, or however you want to word that. It's serving a sacred sacrament. If we use the term healing in conjunction with ceremony, then we become a spiritual healing center, and now we're practicing medicine without a license. The DEA can get involved and completely fuck us. So if we're doing healing modalities outside of ceremony, and ceremony is for your spiritual cleansing or whatever you want, however we kind of word that.
Okay.
Once we figure out that verbiage, that's how it's got to be stated every single time.
I need to figure out how to, I want to get, like, I want this to be a whole healing center. In my mind, the long-term end goal, I imagine myself with white hair helping women give birth in water bathtubs.
Right.
In a yurt, right? So like.
Well, we can't call it that. Legally, there's no way for us to have religious freedom around a healing thing.
So they still have to be separated no matter what.
Yeah. We can do all of those things, but the ceremony aspect is a spiritual ceremony. Right. All of the other shit that we do over the weekend can be whatever we do over the weekend.
Okay.
But the actual ceremony process needs to be a spiritual communion with the source.
Okay.
So that's for spiritual healing. That's for your God to do the thing that, or the medicine or whatever, however we are going to word that, that has to be very specific.
Okay.
Sound bath healing, yoga healing, Qigong, all of that other shit, we can call it whatever we want to call it, because that doesn't involve the medicine. Where the sacred sacrament is involved, it has to be worded very specifically, or we can get in a lot of fucking trouble.
Okay.
So.
Yep. I understand that now. Thank you for taking the time to explain that. And thank you for not getting frustrated.
Nothing to be frustrated about. It's a very big risk.
Right. To piggyback off of the conversation I was just saying and the long-term view of this, then we can transition to the Reddit thing. There are people within our community I have my sights on. They have no idea who they are.
I have men like that too.
Right? But like you're going to work for us one day. You're going to work with us. You're going to work in tandem with us. Like, I see the healer in people.
Yeah.
There's one person I've had this conversation with. She knows who she is.
Yeah.
But I see the healer in the women around me, and I feel it in my bones. Like, we are going to have people who come together in this, and we are going to have a massive, I believe, like, people are going to travel around the world to come to this.
Maybe.
To experience what we have. And we're going to have people with us in tandem. Like, we're not going to be able to do every breathwork session or every Tai Chi movement session.
We could call our things spiritual realignments. Well, there's a whole lot of vernacular that we could create, call it spiritual awakening centers or whatever.
Yeah.
We just have to be very careful with the medicine aspect.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because to me it is a God-given medicine, right?
Right.
So there's gonna be a whole lot of vernacular that I'm gonna have to unlearn while speaking. All right, let's do some Reddit shit. We can what you laughing at?
Chris Ain't Your Mom said, I imagine you picking the members like the aliens out of the claw machine in Toy Story.
The claw. Mom Peach got those Mother Earth eyes watching from the ether. You guys have no fucking idea.
Do you mean that?
Yeah.
Oh God, that just made me feel really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so this is an Am I Overreacting post. And this is, I believe, the post, multiple comments, links. He's kind of doctored this up so that we can see if this works for us. You get to read it though.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. Am I overreacting? I ask too many times. My boyfriend works to support us and I stay home and take care of the house duties like cooking, cleaning, etc. I love taking care of him because he takes care of me. Equivalent exchange, it sounds like.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. With that being said, I used to wake up in the morning and iron his work clothes. His schedule has changed and now he has to wake up earlier. I've asked him to let me know which outfit he has ironed the night before because I don't enjoy waking up in the morning and doing it on his timing. I prepare our breakfast, lunch, and dinner the day before, and I find it makes sense to also get our clothes ready beforehand as well so that the morning is easy going. Any thoughts before I keep going?
I mean, all of that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree.
So just from a non-relationship standpoint, right, without another person being involved, I always knew what clothes I was going to wear the next day. So like if I knew I had to get up early and I only had 45 minutes before I had to get to work, I still want 15 minutes of me time, 20 minutes of me time where I get to just decompress and like get my wits about me about my morning, whatever that's going to look like. I've got a morning routine. So having my meals prepped and in containers so that I can just grab them, throw them in my lunchbox and go. Having my clothes picked out ready to go means that I can drink my bottle of water. I can sit down, journal. I can exercise if I want to, and then I can grab my shit and go. This is efficiency to me.
Yeah, I agree.
On the relationship aspect of this, knowing that you can get everything ready to go the night before and then she's not willing to get up earlier is what it comes down to.
And I can see how that may hurt his feelings.
Right. So,
He's
but
missing something.
right. I would rather her still get up and have all that shit ready to go, but spend time with me in the morning before I leave and then go back to bed when I'm gone.
Right. Like just give me a quick kiss, send me out the door.
Right. 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. You don't have to wake up and stay awake. Continuing. So today I asked him before leaving work to let me know the outfit, and I sent a reminder text after lunch. No response. I find it frustrating because this is my third time explaining this to him, and I'm wondering if I'll come off as an asshole if I don't wake up tomorrow and iron his clothes. But I know for a fact he's going to wake up and request that I help him with his clothes. Side note, he's particular about his outfits, so I can't pick them myself, or I would.
So where are we at with that?
I wouldn't ask again because at this point, you know he's ignoring the question. So I would approach it differently. And with the knowledge that I have, I would say, I'm not assuming anything. I just want to communicate that I feel like my questions are being ignored. And the conclusions that I'm coming to is because there may be hurt feelings around the fact that I'm not getting up in the morning anymore. And then just leave that there. And he's an intelligent man. He will respond when he's ready to respond. And I'm not being an asshole. I'm not trying to be shitty. It sounds like he's autistic. Has super particular things about, and he may be not. He may just have super particular things about this one aspect
OCD.
of it. Right? OCD of it. Whatever's going on. And I'm also deducing, right? I'm assuming that he can't accurately communicate what's going on with him. So there's blocks going on there. There has to be something to bridge what's going on without both of you trying to fight for what you want out of the situation.
I'm hung up on the no response.
Yeah.
She sent a reminder text after lunch, no response. If I see that the text message is read and I don't get a response on a question that I'm asking, like it's very different to get like an okay text and just read that. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be like, okay, have a good day after an okay text is sent. Like conversation can end where the conversation can end. But if a question is asked and that question goes unanswered and I am blatantly ignored, we have a much bigger problem than the clothing.
I agree.
That I find as blatant disrespect. So like the moment he got home from work, that would be the conversation. Like, hey, I asked you on your lunch break what you wanted to do about your clothes and you left me red. We have a much bigger problem now than figuring out what the ironing of clothes is going to look like in the morning. You are now failing to communicate with me by choice. And I don't care what you got going on at work. You looked at your phone, which means you could have been like, I'll talk to you about it later. It would have taken you 5 seconds to send some sort of text message reply and you chose not to.
that's a whole lot of you statements.
I don't give a shit at that point.
Okay.
I have now been ignored, right? This is one of those things. Yes, there is a time. I versus you statements are always important. However, when the disrespect happens, like at some point you have to start, I don't want to say matching the energy because that's not the right terminology, but you need to call the behavior.
Making it known that you're also an authority here. That's how I view that. Like making it know that you're not going to be walked on. You're not going to be.
Yes. That's a much better way to word it than saying matching energy, because it's not matching energy. If I'm trying to do something for you and I'm going above and beyond and you are ignoring me, there's a level of disrespect now that has to be addressed.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right in that there was a lot of you statements there. And I don't know if I would be able to find a better way to have that conversation, because I take that type of shit real personal. Right. So maybe that's a me problem. Maybe that's something that Chris needs to work through, not the emailers. Right.
Yeah.
I also I also think that if I knew that I had to have that conversation from the time that lunch was had till the time you got home,
It's a couple of hours.
I'm going to have time to reword all of that and like actually have an intelligent conversation and not from a place of hurt.
Yeah.
So I guess just to be fair to what we always talk about on the podcast, I probably should try to rephrase that with I statements. I sent you a text message today at lunch because over the last year or however long it's been, I have been waking up with you and ironing your clothes. Now that you're working earlier in the morning, I don't want to have to get up and do that. So I need you to tell me what clothes that you want me to wear what you want to wear moving forward the night ahead. And if you fail to do that, that's going to be something that's going to fall on your shoulders in the morning, because my requests have not been met. And I'm just not going to get up in the morning that early to do these things.
I wouldn't take that well. I can still feel the hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because being ignored multiple times when I'm trying to do something for you. When somebody's going above and beyond to do something nice for somebody, at what point do you say, okay, motherfucker, like,
Right.
I'm not going to do this for you anymore because you're taking advantage of the situation. I'm not going to be used, right? Or manipulated or stepped on. Like there needs to be an equal level of respect.
I agree.
So, and I view that as very disrespectful. That leaving me red shit when I'm trying to do something for you is a big fucking problem for me.
I agree. I feel the same way. I don't enjoy being ignored. I will send a follow-up text message. Inside, I'm thinking, bitch, I know you see me. But the follow-up message says, did you get busy?
So then what
Get sidetracked?
What does the I statements look like for you at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, what I said. I not assuming anything. I am communicating that I am feeling now ignored. I am deducing that there is hurt because I'm not getting up in the morning anymore. And I'm going to leave it at that. You can either confirm that I am accurate or not, and then we can have a conversation about how I'm not accurate and why you're being pissy.
And you're going to just ignore the disrespect there altogether.
No, there's going to be a conversation about it, but I don't think that conversation is going to be able to be had until whatever feelings are disorganized or organized, because otherwise I think it's going to be taken personally. And I'm not trying to have a fight about it. I just want it to be known that what happened was not okay, and I don't want it happening again.
Yeah. Yep. I got work to do. That would bother me.
Yeah.
Like that would be one of those things that I would have a very hard time having a conversation about.
I know you're not doing it on purpose. Like if I believe that you're hurt and you're not able to have a conversation with me right now because telling me to do your clothes the night before, means that you're getting up by yourself in the morning and going to work cold and desolate. Like that shit sucks. I get it. I wouldn't want to go through that either. And I could understand that you may not know how to communicate that to me, especially being a man.
See, I wasn't equating the hurt behind it.
Yeah.
Because that's an assumption. We have no idea if that's actually what's going on.
Right. It could be anything, but that's how I would live my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would base it on the fact that I'm trying to do something for somebody and I've asked them multiple times and now they're intentionally leaving me red.
Yeah.
Like I
view that as a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde mindset.
Why is that?
Because why would I be doing that to hurt you if you know that I love you?
Intentionally leaving me red and ignoring the questions that I'm asking?
Right. Like if I am not healed me and I'm disorganized, I'm a fucking mess, and reading that question makes me angry, and instead of blowing up on you and having a fight, I'm just not answering because to me that's the better of the two. like, I can understand where you're coming from. I'm just trying to lay out the mindset that I assume people to have. I never assume that someone's intentionally hurting me.
Somebody getting angry at me for asking them what clothes they want me to iron for them to wear to work the next day is like my mind would never go there.
Right. No, it's a very like immature thing, right? It's a very like that's something that I'm trying to teach the children now at almost 7 and 8 years old to organize within themselves and not behave this way as adults. This dude missed milestones. And I missed milestones. This is something that, I just recently finished a parenting course with a child psychologist. And I learned a lot about myself through that too. It's a very flawed mindset, very emotionally illiterate, we could say. Doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, this is the difference in our lived experiences or our cognitive bias.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's one of those things that like all of the stuff that you added on to that from your perspective is not at all what I would have added on.
Yeah.
So like even, we don't know that that's what's going on. It could just be one of those things that he doesn't know what he wants to wear tomorrow yet, right? Like there's a whole lot that could be in that situation. I'm real big on not getting the silent treatment. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm trying to have a conversation with you and I'm being ignored, like that's abuse to me. Like
I agree.
That's withholding love. That's
that's an extreme.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. But I've experienced that extreme, and I have committed myself to never live in a situation like that. So when I hear this, I am absolutely responding from my own commitments, my own lived experience, and my own fuck you for treating me that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that like I stand by like those convictions. I think coming from that place of fuck you is another way to add to the rupture before it's repaired.
Yeah, and it will.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware of that. It will definitely make things worse. But I also think that there's a level of I want you to understand how I'm hurt because of this, right?
Yeah.
This is us working through things in real time. Every time we do one of these, excuse me, every time we do a Q&A where people are like, what has the podcast changed about you guys?
Yeah.
This is one of those situations where we would never come into this.
Right.
Because if I sent you a message and you didn't respond to me and I saw that it was read after an hour, I'm calling you.
Right, because there's something wrong.
Right. Are you alive?
Yeah.
Did you wreck your car and your phone happened to open? Like, what's going on that you didn't respond to me? Because this is not how we treat each other.
Right.
And like, there's going to be a much different conversation there. Mm-hmm. And we'll eventually get to that.
Right.
But I am also one of those people that if I send you a text message and if I don't hear back from you in 15 minutes, I'm sending you another one. Mm-hmm. Because we prioritize each other, reason, right? Yeah. Like, we don't do that. And if I call and you don't answer the phone, I'm blowing your fucking phone up.
Yeah.
Why aren't you answering your phone? Are you dead? Do I need to call the sheriff's office? Are you in jail? Are you going to the hospital? Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
Because we have individual ringtones that are set to go past all the do not disturb shit. There's never a time that you don't hear my phone ring, right? So there's a whole lot that goes into that, but that speaks on our life, not on their life.
Correct.
So anyways, back to what I was saying, this does say that this shows you guys that we are working through things that we would never have to deal with, which is making us better lovers, partners, however you want to word that.
Best friends.
For our marriage, right? So as we've told you guys since the beginning of this, the podcast has affected us just as much as it's affected you. And this is the point of all of this. Mm-hmm. Highly recommend that you guys are watching this episode, go back, pause this shit, pull your partner in and be like, how would you handle this situation?
Yeah.
This is how you guys are going to learn and grow and evolve.
I think that so in this situation, I hear how, I hear the hurt that you would have.
Yeah.
I think that I could understand your hurt without you hurting me.
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, I would not intentionally hurt you.
Not hopopo no of you.
No pono. That's funny.
No pono. I can't.
I'm
trying so hard. I have such a hard time with my memory.
Right.
And that's such a big word. Anything else on this one?
No.
All right. Comments. Nope. Comments linked to outside articles have been copied and posted into here in order and then returned to the main post comments. Nor. No. Oh, nar. Carrie. No. She's in the house. I just triggered myself. It says NOR. What does that mean?
No idea. He's in the chat. Chris, what does NOR mean?
Yeah, it says nor, which triggered my nar. Or triggered R, nar.
Typo.
Oh, okay. It's just a typo. That's funny.
You don't have to read all this out loud. Some of this is notes.
Oh, okay. It says it's off topic, but you're putting yourself in an awfully vulnerable position by being a stay-at-home partner without the security of marriage. Just saying.
That's a valid point.
Very valid point. Can't knock it. Reply. Jesus Christ. Yes. First thing that jumped out at me. Girl, get a job and stand on your own 2 feet before this link happens to you.
All right. An article from the Cosmopolitan.
Ooh, what happens to a stay-at-home girlfriend after a breakup?
Are you able to read that?
Yeah.
All right. Let me just pull the chat back up so we have the chat too, because this is an actual article we're going to read. Trying new things today, guys. Not overreacting. NOR means not overreacting.
Oh, not overreacting. Okay. If you're on TikTok, you've probably seen them on your FYP wearing athleisure sets and chic neutrals while making the bed, or preparing coffee for their boyfriends and a Bloom nutrition drink for themselves. Maybe they're getting their nails done, showing their skincare routine, or going to Pilates, narrating their day while twinkling music plays in the background. A day in my life as a stay-at-home girlfriend.
Yep, that sounds like some. I'm jealous that they have that.
Yeah.
I'm sure the article's not that.
Right.
Yeah.
Search terms like stay-at-home girlfriend, 33.3 million views.
37.3.
37. What did I say?
33.3. 37.3. That 4 million matters. That's a lot.
Making up my own angel numbers out here. Life as a stay-at-home girlfriend, 37.8 million views. Stay-at-home girlfriend, 36.2 million views. And SAHG,
Yeah,
34 million
the
views.
The last search was stay-at-home GF.
Stay-at-home girlfriend.
Yeah, GF, but it's actually typed out that way. So when you search these things, this is how they're getting the results.
This is exactly how, ladies, what the fuck? If men can get a stay-at-home girlfriend, why would they get a wife?
Right. A lot less risk.
A lot less commitment. Girl mindset and wife mindset are different. And it's not because of the duties or the commitment. In my mind, it's different because there's a level of respect and boundaries that are going to be adhered to a wife that's not a girlfriend, right? And it's not government marriage and all of these things. It's a mindset. And if you are with a man who's of the mindset of I just have to be a boyfriend for the rest of my life, women who want to be a wife but are in the girlfriend, stuck in the girlfriend because they have a boyfriend and not a husband, like you will never go beyond that. You're going to be unfulfilled. He's going to be miserable because you're not happy. I would not brag about being a stay-at-home girlfriend.
Yeah. From a man's perspective, thought we were going to lose that article with that pop-up. That scared me.
Yeah.
From a man's perspective, a stay-at-home girlfriend is a lot less risk.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot less that we have to worry about in terms of losing things in the event of a divorce. But there's also a whole lot of you're a dumbass for supporting somebody else's existence that's not committed to you the way their wife is.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you have that kind of money and you just want to support another human, like is that just a flex for you? Like I'm not trying to do that. Like there needs to be a very serious conversation of what marriage looks like and have plans in place for that to become a thing for a stay-at-home to exist for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And on the flip coin of that conversation, if both of you are 100% cool with the non-longevity comes to my mind between boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife, it's temporary. Like this is I can put this business card in a river and I know it's going to dissolve at some point, or I can put this metal business card and know that this shit's going to be there until someone else finds it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to float forever, but it's going to settle to the bottom, find stability.
Somebody will get it with a magnet.
Yeah, right? Me out there with my metal and beep,
because
beep,
you
beep,
find
beep,
what you
beep.
attract, right?
Damn right. Holy shit. Did we just piggyback off of each other?
Yeah.
That was great.
He actually put the article in here so we don't have to use that bright white screen, which I prefer.
Nice.
This is so much easier on my eyes.
Okay.
So we are
Here.
right here.
But on the flip coin of that, right? If you guys are cool with the non-commitment, the Like, you live that way, but don't pressure women who want to be a wife into conforming that the best you're going to get is a stay-at-home girlfriend. These are increasingly popular on TikTok. The trend has been featured in recent pieces in the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal, the latter of which attribute it to a Gen Z move away from mid-2000s girl boss hustle culture and towards aspirations of a softer life.
Good.
Some of the stay-at-home girlfriends describe their lifestyle in similar, seemingly progressive language. People used to ask me, "What's your dream job?" I never knew the answer. I realized it's because I don't dream of labor. I dream of living a soft, feminine life and being a hot housewife. It's as simple as that, says influencer Kendall K in a video with 1.6 million views from September 2023.
What a stupid fucking statement. I actually think that's a really dumb statement.
Yeah.
If your aspirations is just to be an attractive woman who stays inside and like is spoiled,
Yeah.
what about the housework? What about having a family and children, right? Like,
Like, what makes you a person? Like, what makes you interesting?
right. You just trying to be arm candy for somebody so that when they go out, you're there dressed up so that you can, because in my opinion, that makes you an escort. You're not a wife at that point. If all you're doing is showing up and looking good and you're not doing all of the other things that a housewife is supposed to do,
right?
You're basically being paid for your services.
It is. I agree with that.
This is the whole difference between being a stay-at-home wife and a kept woman.
Continuing, as some of the comments on these TikToks vocally point out, the life of a stay-at-home girlfriend is risky, to say the least. It's all well and good until he breaks up with you, one wrote.
It's going to be the case with any relationship, though.
Really, right. Divorce happens.
Even without a marriage.
Right.
If you're in a regular relationship and you guys are cohabiting together and you've become accustomed to a certain aspect of life because there's two incomes.
10, 15 years.
Right. Even 4 years. You get used to that shit. You start taking on new debt, car payments. You've got higher limit credit cards. Like there's a whole lot of risk that comes into separating from that person. That's why people stay in relationships, because they're financially obligated to do so.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about, but for people to be like, this is a risk. It's a risk no matter what if you're living with somebody and decide to fucking break things off. Nobody wants to talk about that though.
Right. So to counter the whole article, if it's a risk anyway, and you don't want to have the massive commitment of marriage and forming a family with somebody and being with them for the rest of your life, you can live this life and it be okay.
Yep.
Everything in life is about risk assessment. And if you've accurately assessed the risk without your emotions tied to it, and you are cool with what's going on, who gives a fuck what anybody has to say, including us?
Do you hear how different that mindset is though?
Yeah.
When you're talking about risk assessment, that's what we do. Everything that we do is risk reward and like, how could this potentially fuck us?
Yeah.
Most people don't live like that. Most people go, that sounds really cool, or that's amazing, let's do that. And they don't think about what could potentially go wrong. They're just living their la-da-da-da-da, and then all of a sudden fucking the bottom falls out and they don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like there's no planning.
Yeah.
The amount of people that I've watched destroy their lives because something sounded cool and they just fucking did this shit without thinking about it. Like, yeah, it's a very different conversations, very different mindsets, right?
Yeah.
It took you 2 weeks to make a decision on whether or not you were going to quit your job.
Took me 2 weeks, yeah. And I loved my job. And I was actually blossoming into a different career path.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on, yeah.
Yeah. And it took us years with the podcast to downsize our life to focus more on the podcast, because this wasn't a viable source of revenue for us. Like there's a lot, like this is guys, make no mistake, this is a job for us now.
100%.
And it's turned into a multifaceted business and a brand. And like, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you guys will never see. There's employees, there's a whole lot of shit that happens with To Be Better now. But that didn't just start in year 1. Like it evolved through years 1 through 3 and got to where it is now. And it's not done yet.
No.
So, but if we didn't risk assessment and we were just like podcast and quit our jobs and went into this room and started recording and did this for 6 months, we could have lost everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to go back to me saying that I gave up. So I was a body piercer, and I, at that point, had already begun my apprenticeship to become a tattoo artist. I had 7 tattoos under my belt. I was putting ink to people. And when you presented me with the option to stay home, it was 2 weeks of risk assessment. What is going to make me happy? You know, and I'm not just looking at my husband. I never thought my husband's going to leave me and abandon me, right? I know that I am capable of taking care of myself. I took care of myself and my 2 children before you came along. I wasn't at my happiest, right? I'm definitely happier with you in my life, but I was doing it and I was finding my footing. I was finding my way. And then I'm sure I would have found a way if you hadn't come along. But I was thinking of things like, am I going to be emotionally fulfilled stepping away from this? I looked at, I'm going to be able to spend more time with the kids. I knew long-term I wanted to homeschool the kids, and this was going to play into that. So making the transition now into being a stay-at-home versus trying to transition to be a stay-at-home now, deal with all of those emotions, and then homeschool the children? Yeah. No, I would rather take a year or 2, emotionally figure myself out, get into my own routine, figure out life, and then do the homeschooling and go from there. And then in the meantime, the podcast was born. And now I'm a breathwork practitioner and I'm a Reiki practitioner and I'm hosting women's retreats and I have my women's groups and I'm privately coaching women, doing all of these things with my life. And I have, before my life goal was to be a tattoo artist. Now my life goal is to create a massive healing facility in the most scenic, picturesque place that you can imagine. And have our church there and welcome hundreds of people and have a living community and leave a living legacy.
Yep.
Right? And people want to get hung up on, oh my God, you threw away being a tattoo artist for a man. No, I threw away I threw away, if we want to say it that, I made a decision to step away from that.
Could always do that again though.
Yeah, I could, you know, and at any point I could. There have been multiple times over the last 4 years, I'm going to go back to being a tattoo artist and then other things that I deem more important come into life and I choose what I deem to be more important over that so far every time.
Yeah. I think that every time that you want to do that and you get gung-ho and we get all your shit set up, something comes up because that's not supposed to be your path.
Yeah.
I think that you holding on to something you want for yourself, but not something that God has ordained you to do. Me, yeah. Right.
I agree. That's a really good way to look at that.
Yeah. Okay. I also think that's why I've stepped so far away from it. Yeah. It's why Jeff Graham is so in charge with everything now. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's get back to this.
All right. Enter the side of the stay-at-home girlfriend TikTok you don't see.
You see that shit.
Yes, we do. The post-breakup videos warning you of the financial and emotional risks that come with this lifestyle. They might not be as sparkly or as aspirational, which might explain why they don't have as many views, but they're just as real and important. And if you're going to surrender financial independence to becoming a stay-at-home girlfriend, you should go into it with clarity about what could happen if the relationship ends.
I agree with that. That's risk assessment. Yeah. This is you not being a fucking retard, right? Like,
yeah. If you give a man a power to feed you, he also has the power to starve you. For men, if you give the woman the power to feed you, she also has the power to poison you.
Ooh, fuck. Take that, Cosmopolitan. Jeez.
Maybe I can write articles. One of the most popular stay-at-home girlfriend breakup videos comes from beauty and lifestyle influencer Bella Greenlee. Coming as somebody who has been a stay-at-home girlfriend for 3 years, it's not the life you want, Greenlee says in a video. If he is paying for your whole life and you don't have any income at all, there will start to be resentment. I'm just glad that I was young, I didn't have any kids, I was not married, and I was able to start my life before I wasted more years just staying in the house.
I think that speaks to the man.
Right, and your choice in a man, right? Why did you wait 3 years? If you... I just derailed myself and I can't remember where I was going with that. Continue.
The resentment thing. So for me, that speaks to the type of man. Me being able to like handle our finances and for you to get whatever you want is one of the biggest flexes for me. Right? So like if you were like, let's go do this thing. And I'm like, okay. And we go do that thing on a mildly narcissistic level. It feeds something in me knowing that I am that motherfucker and that most men can't do that for their women. Not to that level, right? Yeah. I understand that real shit, even if I can't do it right now and I had to do it 2 weeks from now because it took me some time to figure out how to do it like most men would have to do, it still makes me that motherfucker. because most men can't do that. There are a lot of little boys out there playing men that are incapable of living the life that we live.
Right.
So that will never be a resentment thing for me. Now, if you were spending beyond our means and I had to start working another job on top of all of this and running the businesses, we might have to have a conversation about like slowing down. But that's not who you are. So just like I'm not the man to get resentful, you're not the woman to take advantage of the way that we live our life.
The life that you've provided.
Right. So like the kids aren't taking advantage of it. Granted, they're still so young, they don't understand it. They're still trying to understand the concept of $20, right?
Yeah.
So there's just a lot that goes into that. And I think that that matters. You guys can't one size fits all a relationship. The relationship that you and I have is ours. The relationship that the people in the chat and our Patreon and Discord have is their own thing. I just saw somebody say, for the love of God, AJ clip that. AJ hasn't worked for us in so long.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie's the clipper now.
Yeah.
I did talk to AJ recently though. He's doing really good.
I love that.
He's created his own little business, and he's doing his own thing with EMF, as if that's what NFTs is not it either. NFTs are the images. What is the tap thing with your phone? Is that NFT?
I have no idea.
The function where you can tap like a dot business card and it pulls up your social medias.
Oh, that's crazy.
He created a card that's based off of sports stuff. So like a sports trading card that you can tap, and it gives you all the stats of the fighter and all of the things that's based around that fighter.
Shut up.
Yeah, and he's doing his own little thing. AJ's doing the shit in life.
Get it, dude. Hell yeah. I love that. It feels good to be a stepping stone for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in their story.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. It is NFC.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to it.
All right. With over 3.2 million views, Greenlee's video has been stitched time and time again, with some people agreeing with her and others arguing that a man's role should be to provide financially.
I don't like that.
It's if he wants it.
I don't like that a man's role is to provide financially.
It's to provide. I mean, but
Provision.
both provide, right? It's a whole rabbit hole we go down to. None of this is real.
Yeah. Provision is not just a financial thing. If you're looking to a man and that's all you need is financial provision, what about the mental, spiritual, and physical provision that a man provides?
He's just a slave at that point if you're neglecting those things.
Great.
When I chat with Greenlee over Zoom, she stands behind what she said in her video. If you give a man the power to feed you, he also has the power to starve you. Insert what I said before.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm all here for the conversations, but I want to have everyone be reminded of the duality of it. For every fucked up evil man there is out there, there's an equally fucked up evil woman.
I wonder if we could create that. Krista said, I want one for 2BB. So when I tell about a stranger about your podcast, I can tap it and pull it up. I would imagine, like, I know Dot as I think Dot is a one-time fee. And if it's only like 15 or 20 bucks, that might be something that we can offer with the ultimate tier.
That'd be dope.
So when they sign up for the ultimate tier, they automatically get one of those cards.
Send a card out.
Or like do it with a quarterly drop. Like every quarter we create a card and be like, if you don't have a card.
Speak up.
Yeah. We need to look into that. Because if it's not a monthly service and it's just a one-time purchase, it would be worth it.
I need to say this while I'm thinking about it, even though it's on the podcast. I want to create that Discord server for my separate healing shit.
Okay.
I want to sit down and do that before we play Scrabble this evening. What?
Before you get your ass kicked at Scrabble?
That's fucked up.
She told me last night, Mr. 7th grade education.
Yeah. Over here got a 328 score.
It was more than that. It was almost 400. It was like 370 something.
No, you were 329. I got 201. You were 128 points above me. I stewed on it. Last night. Yeah, I remember.
That's funny.
I saw you smirk and I was like, oh, he's loving that I'm implementing Scrabble.
No,
and it wasn't. It
shit.
was you being cocky.
I wanted to talk shit.
It's still loving. I love it. Thank you.
It's fun.
All right. Greenlee says that becoming a stay-at-home girlfriend was something that slowly happened. Something that she slowly allowed to happen too. He didn't just pack all of her shit up for her and move her in. Ownership, everybody. She and her ex started dating in the early days of COVID when she was unemployed. As their relationship got more serious, she became financially dependent on him. In what sense? Like, would she rather depend on him than her parents? Because if she was unemployed, where was she living? Who was taking care of her?
Well, she also said that this happened during COVID. So
Yeah.
did she just not go back to work after the pandemic like went away?
Oh, that's a good question.
Did she start making a little bit of fame on TikTok doing this type of content and that actually created her platform? So that became her job? Because at that point, TikTok was paying pretty well. Like,
Intelligent minds would like to know.
yeah.
See, and this is why my husband and I can't watch television. We question everything.
That's why we watch action movies. Because the only
Yeah.
thing I can pick apart at that point is the gunplay.
Right? Yep. I swear to God, the only time my husband's like, God, that was great when we were watching action movies is John Wick, because he actually knows how to handle
Yeah.
his weapons.
Yeah. You can tell Chris Pratt, believe it or not, is one of the most highly trained actors in Hollywood in terms of like tactical training.
Okay.
Because they spent the Tomorrow War, where he was like
Wasn't he
the
a
time
sniper?
travel one.
Oh.
The time travel thing that he did, where like they sent him back in time to a specific day and they all fell out of the sky onto a pool on the roof and like they had to fight aliens. It's actually a pretty good movie, but like he
Okay.
went through extensive training for that. So, but Keanu Reeves actually has weapons experience because he's a gun enthusiast. So like once he learned how to shoot and started training for it, like he goes to the range and like it's something he really enjoys doing.
He wanted to look cool.
Yeah, well, he fucking does.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see you guys in the chat going on and on about a QR code. We had QR code stickers that we used to send out with t-shirts. We need to probably do a t-shirt with just a QR code on the back of it.
Oh, yeah.
Just so that like on the shoulder somewhere in a weird position on the shirt that people be like, what the fuck is that? And they'll scan it while people are standing in line and shit.
Yeah.
We should do that.
That would be dope. All right. As their relationship got more serious, she became financially dependent on him. To her followers, everything looked rosy. Of course it did. Because we're not going to post the negative things. One, we want a facade. We want people to be envious. We want attention. Attention equals envy. Envy equals attention. Like,
That's why we don't cut our arguments out of the podcast.
right.
We have never claimed to be anything other than what we are. And people who are around us can confirm that this is our life.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would post my day in a life videos. So it would be cleaning or making breakfast. Greenlee says, everybody was thinking I was living this really peaceful, happy life. But in reality, she says, I would clean the house more than I had to just to keep myself entertained. I didn't really have a lot to do, so I was kind of going crazy. Crazy hypothetical. She didn't pour enough into herself, like having hobbies and social circles and relationships and those kinds of things. Became resentment towards the boyfriend. Found the only thing that she could logically cling on to was, he's the reason I'm a stay-at-home girlfriend. It's his fault. And now he's the bad guy.
Yep. Because it's way easier to blame somebody else than it is to take accountability for your actions.
Right. You also could have gotten a job. You didn't have to be a stay-at-home girlfriend for him.
Wonder how much money she was making on TikTok.
Could have been his working girlfriends. If he was the problem, you can just say that.
Yeah. I don't believe that to be the case though.
Yeah. The way this is being laid out, I was so bored. I was cleaning to entertain myself. Learned to knit. Yeah. I love knitting. I'm making my husband a blanket. I'm going to make you a poncho next. I'm going to make you a drug rug.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Gotta get the blanket done first.
I know. The blanket's happening. I'm going to finish the blanket, and that's going to be the next thing I pick up for you.
That's funny.
I'm so excited. I'm getting super confident in my skills.
How about you make me a hat next?
A beanie?
Like a beanie.
I could do that. Okay. All right. Jumping back into this. I would clean the house more than I had to just to keep myself entertained. I didn't really have a lot to do, so I was kind of going crazy. The fact that she was relying on her then boyfriend financially meant that, as she says, I kind of felt like I had to walk on eggshells. Because I knew that he had the power to take away my whole life if he wanted to. I felt like I didn't have a voice in the relationship. Okay. So this is more about pay attention to who you're moving in with versus the terrors of being a stay-at-home girlfriend. If you were walking on eggshells around him, why did you move in with him?
Right.
If he was abusive financially and he was using this as a carrot dangling in front of your face, right? And that should be the conversation. If that's the problem, this man abused me financially. When you decide to move in with somebody and you're going to be a stay-at-home, really pay attention to this person's actions. I'm mad at this article now. I'm getting angry.
She said, I knew that he had the power to take away my whole life if he wanted to. She didn't say he was doing that. She didn't
Right.
say he was manipulating me. She didn't say he was doing anything.
She's alluding to it.
Right. Well, I mean, even if he was not doing any of that, and she just knew that he had the ability to, and that's what created the issues for her, she's making up problems in her head that wasn't there.
Oh yeah, she created it. The self-destructive cycle,
Right.
ruined the relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
She could have had the perfect dude that was
Loving.
willing to do this for her for the rest of her life because it made her happy and that fulfilled him.
But she had to have a bad guy.
Yep.
And we are conditioned as women that men are the bad guy.
Well, of course we are. You guys have to be slaves to the system and pay taxes. Being at home and raising your children and being a happy to not have to work person is wrong. How dare you?
Totally off topic from this, and this can be up. Bye, Felicia just said, I wish I had taken the time to learn to knit from my grandmother. Dead ass. I was finalizing my Radiance and Renewal itinerary for April's women's retreat, and I almost carved out 2 hours to do a crocheting class to teach women how to crochet so that they could have something that they can do instead of doom scrolling or spiraling in their minds. Like, seriously, if I had not had knitting and crocheting the last 3 weeks, I don't know how I would have gotten through any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to think about making videos. Just add that to my docket of things to, once I run out of chakras or whatever, I can make knitting videos, crocheting videos, how-tos.
You could also just do that live for Patreon.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
If you're going to be knitting anyways,
Yeah.
we know that you can knit and do things because when we were at the couples retreat, you knitted the entire time that we were talking with couples.
I did.
So you can do it and have conversations. You guys could do,
Yeah.
it's just more Patreon content.
Okay. So back into this. I gave away everything I had. The situation really sunk in when Greenlee discovered her ex was cheating. It was really hard for me to be like, oh, I'm going to leave like a regular woman would because he was funding my whole life. So I couldn't just leave like that, she says. I really had to make a game plan for myself.
What a weird thing to be a content creator and not be making money creating content. Because that's a fucking job.
Right.
Like, people don't understand how much work goes into what we do. A single 2-hour podcast is on average 15 hours of work.
Mm-hmm.
Between trying to figure out what we're going to do, the editing, the clipping, the posting, the back end fucking management shit, the metrics, and like,
Yeah.
there's
responding
a lot
to comments after the fact.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot, which is why a lot of big influencers who have millions of followers fucking hire people and teams to do the work because it becomes overwhelming.
Yeah.
If she was making content during COVID and she was in the creator program, excuse me, those people, I know people who are making $25,000 to $30,000 a month on TikTok back then.
Insane.
Yeah.
I really hate she didn't highlight the warning flags going into this relationship, and she's just talking about the shittiness of it.
Yeah.
This is a cautionary tale. I would put money on the fact that she overlooked massive red flags because he wasn't out. It was a better living situation than whatever she had, and it was somebody who was willing to fund her life. And it was fun until it wasn't. Because then you start to recognize you're going emotionally unfulfilled, your needs aren't being met, maybe you don't matter, you're not a priority, and you were cool with overlooking that before because you were so starved of whatever. And now you have to go through things like this. I bet this was a massive learning lesson for her. I hope that it was taken in a way that was productive and not in a way to be spiteful towards men. But this is a very cautionary tale of getting yourself into a situation of now you have to figure out how to get out of it. And this is not going to be an easy, fun thing to get out of. Getting a job sucks. Working for somebody else sucks. Doing mundane burger flipping, here's your fries, sucks. But sometimes that's what we have to do to get ourselves out of the situations we put ourselves into.
Yeah.
And that's not me victim blaming this woman for being financially abused. That is me saying if she had paid attention to a whole host of other things before moving in and giving up a part of her freedom to somebody else, she could have avoided this. There was a whole lot of risk assessment before I gave up part of my freedom to my husband.
Yeah, it should be.
Continuing, after the breakup, Greenlee moved in with her dad and focused on making her own money. At first, she supplemented her influencer income with money that she made babysitting.
So she was making money as an influencer.
Yeah. Now she's a full-time content creator. She's also in a new relationship, and at this time, she's determined to maintain her financial independence.
This article is bullshit, and this is nothing more than her coming out of the woodwork to talk about it to make more money as a content creator.
Yeah, I don't want to read this anymore.
What a fucking sham. That's grifting, in my opinion.
Boo.
Boo this man. There it is. Back to the original comments.
Oh, yes. There was a really sad series on here a while back from a woman who was trying to leave a relationship after decades and several kids, no marriage. She had nothing and was rejected from fast food jobs, etc. Guys, so this is women had fought for the right to get divorced and all these other kinds of things so that we as women can have the cognitive decision to say, this isn't working. I need to leave while I still can. To stay for decades with several kids and no marriage is asinine to me, especially if that's something that you want to do with your one life you get to live here.
It's also why you should get married with a prenup. Because in the event that situation had a prenuptial agreement and it ended, there would have been a whole lot of things that were predetermined while things were good that she would have been able to get on her feet.
Right.
Yeah, people don't talk about that, though. They look at prenuptial agreements as a bad thing to protect the man, and that's should be to protect the couple.
Correct.
This thing says, buckle up, we're about to go on a ride here.
All right.
This is the story. He found the Reddit one. And he copied and pasted it. So that story that they're talking about of the woman who was about to leave the relationship with several kids.
Yeah.
This is it.
Oh, am I the asshole for rolling my eyes at my boyfriend's proposal because it took 25 years of me begging? I think you're an idiot for staying 25 years and then think you're right for rolling your eyes at the proposal.
Bitch, she said what she said, you fucking scrub. The fuck? You were you're a quarter of a century bookmark.
Right. Okay. Editor's note, added relevant comments to add context to the post. Trigger warnings, emotional and financial abuse, possible homelessness, and eviction. So the original post is from December 17th, 2023. Yesterday after dinner, my 52... Oh, she's a 52-year-old female.
Yeah, he's 53. Okay.
He's a 53-year-old male. So yesterday after dinner, my boyfriend of 30 years proposed to me. He just walked towards me holding a box and said to open it. It was a ring, and I had pictured this moment a million different times, but never thought I'd be so apathetic.
Oh, boy's in his 50s, getting on his knees. It's kind of rough.
Yeah.
It's not really, but
right.
Old man joke.
Yeah. At this point, if I have decided to stay for 25 years, I have clearly co-signed that I am okay with not being married to you. That is what you've said for 25 fucking years. I am co-signing with being okay with not being married to you.
Yeah.
And you may have begged for it and pushed for it or whatever, but you didn't fucking leave. After 30 years, if you hand me a box, what has changed in you for you to give this to me?
Right.
Because this is a sudden change of behavior that is extremely out of the normal. This is an opportunity for you to massively profess your love. This may not be how you pictured it, but it's fucking happening. And now I'm going to give you the floor. Why are you doing this now?
Yeah. I didn't get on a knee.
No, you didn't. You handed me a box.
While you were having a fucking breakdown.
I was crying. I was so fucking mad. I had laid my heart out to you and he didn't say anything. He just turned around and walked away. And I was like, this motherfucker heard what I had to say and abandoned me.
In the living room. I walked into her bedroom.
He walked into our bedroom. I was so mad. And you gave me the box and I was like,
what is this?
What's this? And he said, open it. The exact same way that played out.
Well, you were having a do you love me? Are you going to leave me crisis?
Yeah, I was.
Like you thought that I wasn't committed to this. I don't even know where the fuck that came from. You were just having a moment. It might have been a borderline thing.
It was a borderline thing.
So I handled it the best way that I could because I had already had everything planned and paid for.
Yeah.
So I couldn't think of a better way to do the engagement than to, in that moment, while you're having a complete fucking meltdown about how serious we are about this relationship, to show you how fucking serious I was about this relationship.
Yeah.
Yep. And it worked out really fucking well because a hurricane destroyed everything after that.
Yeah.
And we were unable to actually go to the thing that I had paid for in full and planned.
Yep. It worked out. All right, continuing. My boyfriend then said that he was retired now and wants to kick back and enjoy life with me and would love to do it all with me as his wife. A nice speech and all, but the 5-year mark of our relationship onwards, I had been making clear my deep desire to marry and was consistently dismissed, given empty promises and gaslit. And you chose to stay up until the point he finally gave you what you wanted. Bitch, I don't feel bad for you.
Do you get to say you were gaslit if you stayed in that situation for 25 years?
Am I being too mean right now?
I'm here for it. This is not an emailer. We can be as nasty as we want. This is not people asking us for our opinion, trying to save their marriage. This is people putting their life on the internet for other people's entertainment. So let's be entertained. A worst case scenario, people will unfollow the podcast. Best case scenario, people will be like, oh shit, this is a different side of Chris and Peaches. Let's follow.
Okay.
We'll see. Fuck it.
Okay.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah. We had been through, okay, pause here.
I'm going to scroll up so you know where to start.
Okay. I have zero thoughts on this man because she stayed for 25 years through all of this bullshit he laid out in front of her. At the 5-year mark, when I've made it known that I want to be married and you were like, yeah, give me 8 months. And then 8 months comes and go. And I'm like, okay, so I gave you 8 months. And like, I had all of this hope up inside of me and nothing happened. What the fuck? I thought you'd forget about it. It's not important to me right now. It's just a piece of paper. Thank you for letting me know. Right. And I'm gone. I would have been gone 20 years ago.
Yep.
Everything beyond that point, this woman has done to herself. And that's how I would live my life, believing that I have done this to myself. I have allowed this man to treat me like this.
Well, in doing that, you can't post your story on the internet for pity.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. The attention is not there. I just want to say how much I fucking hate that phrase. Marriage is just a piece of paper.
Oh, God.
If that's your belief system, don't ever get married.
Correct.
It is so much more than that.
So much. All right, continuing. We had been through the gamut with therapy, and one counselor implied that me telling him we needed to go to therapy and getting his butt on the couch still means nothing if his mind has been made up. I was in denial about the fact that he was just giving me the false illusion of progress to stall. My boyfriend, my 53-year-old boyfriend, and I have 4 kids. The oldest 3 are adults, while the youngest is a 15-year-old female, was sleeping over elsewhere when all of this went down. All of our kids went to a private school filled with typical Southern soccer parents. I had to endure PTA moms' jabs at me about not sharing a last name with my kids.
What an ungrateful bitch. What an ungrateful bitch. There are people out there who intentionally choose not to take the last name of somebody for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And that's not the discussion that needs to be had, but that's one of those things that people just need to understand across the board. Like,
right.
That's not a common thing anymore. Being Southern soccer moms and PTA meetings, I get that.
Judgy bitches.
She just said that all of her kids went to private schools.
Right.
Your boyfriend that of 30 years has worked hard enough with you, assumably,
to pay for your children to go to private schools.
Well, this is one of those articles where she's not worked. So she was a stay-at-home mom this entire time while he was killing himself to put these kids through private school.
Yeah. And for her to be upset, I had to endure. I am the victim. Oh my God, these moms were making fun of me because I chose to stay with a man who didn't want to marry me.
Yeah.
I hate it. It makes me so mad. It makes me angry. I'm gonna gather it. I'm gonna gather some of this energy because now
I got the first episode of the meditations thing scripted today.
How'd that go?
It was hard.
But you did it.
Yeah.
I think this is really gonna challenge the way your brain works, and you're going to go through an evolution.
It's going to question stoicism.
Yeah. It's going to make you put a puzzle together differently. A really toxic way. So me and my childhood best friend, we're always super competitive. We were both super traumatized, super fucked up from our childhoods. So we were not okay. And we had this thing where one of us just had to say, I'm superior. I'm better. Even if like I had vehemently for 5 minutes, I'm not doing that. I'm not willing to do that. Fuck off. I'm not doing that. All she had to say was, well, that makes me better. Right in the trauma. Like So I've gotten very good about, you can say you're going to be better than me, bro. Just because you think you're better than me doesn't mean you are. But when it comes to something I enjoy, okay.
You're the one upper.
Yeah.
Do you remember those commercials?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I do remember those.
All right, let's get back to it.
Okay. Preteen years were hell because the other kids would taunt my kids by saying, your dad would rather sin and go to hell than marry your mom.
That's funny.
That's funny. That's fucked up. And that was also, I pray to God, you use this as the opportunity it was to teach your children
how to fight. That's a great time.
Sure. Sure.
What are you going to teach them?
About judgments. And that we can choose how to live our lives and find happiness in it.
Yeah.
And they are wrong for judging us and for making fun of you for doing that. The way that you're hurting right now should be a reminder to not treat other people like this. And we can't control other people.
Yeah.
People making fun of you shows how hurt they are, shows how mean they are.
It's also a good time to teach them to fight.
Yeah.
There needs to be a hierarchy of understanding what it is to have to speak through your own blood. Right? Because then you really pick and choose what you're going to say to somebody.
Because then there's real consequences.
Right. I think that up until you're like 15, 16 years old, fighting needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in a confined situation in like a dojo or a boxing ring or an octagon, like kids need to fight.
Speaking of that, I reached out to that dojo dance company side by side. Once the kids are homeschooled, I think I'm going to put them in there. Continuing.
Yep.
My boyfriend's mom would tell him marriage would be selfish on my part. It's just a piece of paper. My boyfriend ended up raising up the ranks until he became an executive. I was a stay-at-home mom, so I felt like there was always a power imbalance, exasperated by the fact that I could be tossed at any time. But did he make you feel that way?
Right.
Right? That's what fucking matters. I don't care what you thought could happen. What was happening?
Not marriage.
Right. But clearly private schooling.
Yeah. Right.
Stay-at-home mom. Did you have some credit cards? Like, did he care about you emotionally? When you were upset, did he listen?
Right.
Did he change behavior that you didn't like? Like, is it literally the only thing that you guys didn't get married that you're hung up on? Or is it amalgamation of other things? I stayed partly because I wanted my kids to have the best life and because I felt lucky and proud to be partnered with such an intelligent, successful man, but also because I loved him.
Okay. We should have started with that, but sure.
Yeah.
I stayed because I loved him and all of these other things because he's a great guy, blah, 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 blah. You start with the love, not end with it.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine someone coming to me and saying,
I stayed because I wanted my kids to have the best life.
yeah, it's a lot. I don't know. I love you. I went lizard braid this morning. And
yeah, you did. You glitched.
I went up to my husband, like, guys, I'm tired. But like, I'm a little manic this morning. I'm having a massive burst of energy that I have not experienced in 3 weeks. And like I'm going through a lot in my body. And I came up to you and I said, I love you. And I gave you a kiss and your warm lips felt so amazing. And I felt your life force and my life force kissing. And like, I stepped back and I just looked at you. I was like, I love you. And then it dawned on me what I just did. And I was like, oh my God.
You were really in love in the moment. It's okay.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was.
It's funny.
That's exactly what I was. How does that feel?
It's
to know
good.
that like someone still feels that way.
It's good. It's needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've overcome a lot in the last 2 months.
God.
Like,
Yeah.
and not just the maid thing, but like there's been a lot of other little things. Like this has been a rough a month and a half. It's since
Yeah.
the beginning of the year.
Continuing. The past few years, my boyfriend's career has taken a downturn. He will never be poor, but the company he was part of took a nosedive during 2020, and he has made enemies out of associates and board members. He decided to step back from his role and take the generous severance agreed upon. Now he is living off of his investments and wants to relax.
Good for him.
Right? Get out of the rat race. I bet there's a lot of regret in him.
We got to talk about the van life thing at the end of this. We didn't do that yesterday.
I thought about that yesterday.
Jenna put it in the War Council chat, and I was like, "Oh, too late."
Yeah.
We'll come to that at the end of this if I don't forget.
I did not like how his career ended and how he treated people, and had been deciding whether I wanted to leave and find somebody else after our youngest turned 18. Girl,
What?
you could, right? Realistically, you could. You could leave him in your late 50s and start over.
Yep. Good luck.
Right? You're not married. So there's no guarantee you're going to get anything from his investments, his severance package, whatever. Don't be bitter. I didn't like the way his career ended. That's not your career.
Right.
You didn't have to burn the bridges. You don't have to deal with the aftermath of not talking to those people anymore.
I got to be honest. If I was in a position to take a huge severance that allowed me to never have to work again and live off the investments that I've made over the last 30 years, I don't give a fuck what bridges I'm burning.
Right.
I am free now. Dobby is a free elf.
Yes.
That chick saying that I'm thinking about leaving him over that. Do you know how fucking stupid that is? This man is at a point where he can start traveling the world.
And he wants to do it with you.
Yeah.
I would have taken that ring. It would have hurt, right? It would have hurt it taking this long. Fuck you for not seeing that this was worth it earlier.
Right.
But thank you for seeing me now. But that's also the filter that I'm putting onto this. I don't know the man he is.
Right.
I don't know if he's waking up and recognizing that in the last 30 years he has regrets and he could have done things so differently. But it's fucked up of her to take that away from him to punish him.
Right. Well, speaking on the type of man that he is from what she's written, he's the type of man who worked really hard to put his kids through private school, all of them. She's very proud that she partnered with such an intelligent, successful man. And because she loved him, she never said anything negative about him other than he didn't do the ring thing. And now the way that this has gone.
Yeah.
For a man in his early 50s to be as successful as he is, if she was to dip out, he would find somebody like that.
Oh, yeah. And younger.
Absolutely. And the social media posts that she would be seeing for the next 2 to 3 years and all of that would absolutely fucking destroy her.
Oh, God. She'd have a worse life now than she does now.
Yep.
And you're bitter, right?
All the bitter.
And you're bitter. So going into a new relationship, you're going to be bringing all of this into there and holding the new guy to the fire. Because of trauma from the past relationship, you're not going to hold me down the way that he did. Mm-hmm. And this is a possibility too, not saying that this is the kind of woman she is.
That's if she was even able to find another guy at her age.
Right. This is a whole mess. Continuing. Oh, there's something else I wanted to say. I said all of that, right? I believe that I'm a fourth density being.
People have no idea what that means.
And I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I am cool with that. Google it.
Or watch The Law of One that I did.
That
I have a whole
did.
playlist. And it's dropping by the time this comes out, the entire episode will be out.
Yep.
And The Art of War will be done by the time this drops too. So
yep. I believe that I'm a fourth density being. And I believe that I came back because there were things that I need to learn here. But I am 80% sure that I came back to being a third density being to help you achieve fourth density. So we can go into fifth density together. That means something for me and my husband. Y'all can put my tin hat on, my tinfoil hat, and call me crazy and that I'm a sinner and that I'm not a Christian like I've claimed to be and all blah, 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 blah. I'm cool with that. I have my faith with my Lord. I have the things that I believe in. With me having the understanding that I have, I would accept this proposal. And I would live the rest of my life with the man that I've spent the last 25 years with being pissed off about. But now I'm going to choose love. I would not want to be, putting myself in a man's shoes. I have lived my life as a man with, there is a level of neglect that I will never understand that a man goes through. And then finally waking up in my 50s, seeing the woman in front of me, and then giving her what she's been asking me for. And then it being shit on because I fucked up. I know I fucked up. And now I'm asking you to forgive me and love me. I wouldn't want somebody to take that from me.
Yeah.
Continuing.
Yep.
So the proposal was a shock because I should hope that he noticed I have avoided conversations about the future as of late. He rattles on about downsizing our house so we can travel and also cut back on other expenses. But we're not married, so it's all of his money and house anyway. That's a prison you're putting yourself into. He's living in a reality of our.
Yeah.
You're the one who is segregating it and making it his and yours. Continuing, he noticed my eye roll and was offended. He asked what's wrong, and I said that suddenly now he's downsizing, I'm good enough to marry.
What a stupid statement. You want to talk about real risk assessment? While you're successful doing the CEO thing and like having a partner of a major firm or whatever it was that he was doing, being married then is not as big of a risk as being married and getting divorced when you're living on your retirement.
Right.
That money is very different than what's being currently made. So investing your retirement in another person to live the life and do those things is a much, much greater risk than it would be while he was doing the CEO thing. So just on a pure risk assessment level, like this isn't about downsizing and you being good enough to marry now. Oh boy, did the thing.
Yeah.
He's now ready to retire and travel and do the world, and you're the woman he wants to do it with. What a stupid, stupid fucking article.
All of her hurt was said in that sentence.
Yeah.
You know what? And in regards to that risk assessment thing, I'm falling apart at 30. I don't want to be starting over with somebody new and hope that they care about me when I'm 60 to care for me the way that I'm going to need to be cared for. Absolutely not. But that speaks to, I believe that this is a good man and she's hurt and she's playing him out to be a monster because she's hurt. Yep. Right? Now, if he's an abusive piece of shit and he is trying to ruin her life and make her life as hard as possible, I would leave in my old age and take anything better that I can get, right? Have my boundaries and have that love that I can experience before I die. But I don't believe this man's a monster.
No, I don't either.
I believe this woman didn't get what she want, has decades of resentment over it, and then blew up the rest of the life. Continuing, he got mad and said that now that he's downsizing and no longer an executive, I suddenly think our relationship is disrespectful and started implying that I was a gold digger. I was so angry, I walked out and said I might just go out looking for a respectful relationship because I don't know what respect is anymore. Am I the asshole?
You are with that final statement.
Yeah. I mean, you stayed for the good life for your children.
Yeah.
It was the money.
Well, she said that. She stayed.
Right.
She was looking to, so yeah.
He didn't, he calls it like he sees it the same way you were calling it like you see it. You think that he's wrong in calling you a gold digger and he thinks that you are wrong in labeling that you're good enough because he's downsizing.
Well, yeah. I mean, she made that comment. Oh, now you're downsizing your life and you want to get married. Oh, you only wanted me because I was making money. Absolutely can see why he would make that conclusion.
He's a fucking mirror throwing your ugly right back at you.
Yeah. He put some relevant comments here.
All right, some relevant comments. Why did you beg for 25 years instead of proposing yourself after 1 year? That's a good question. And if he had said no, the relationship's over. You were cool with living in an ambiguity. You know what I'm trying to say.
She answered him and answered that person. That person said, YTA, you're the asshole.
Oh, okay, you're the
Why
asshole.
did you beg for 25 years? He said that if I tried to strong arm him into marriage, whether by changing my last name after our kids were born or any proposal stunts, he would be tempted to rethink this relationship.
That's enough for me to leave.
Yeah.
This is not my husband. This man is not my husband because my husband would want to marry me. Fuck. Somebody else says, if you were begging him to propose, why did you stay for 25 years? She said, because I was a stay-at-home mom of many kids and he was the big executive, so I felt like if I offended him in any way, he'd use his influence to screw me in custody battle or otherwise make my life miserable. That's valid. That's a valid fear if he's a monster. If he was a manipulative, vindictive man and behind closed doors, he was this monster who was using his money as power, I would be fearful of that.
Screw me in custody.
Yeah.
He's the one working, putting the kids in private school, and is doing the thing to provide a life for his entire family. How would he be screwing her in a divorce or a breakup?
She hasn't worked, has no money, doesn't have a place for the kids. He gets awarded full custody. I'm arguing as her.
Right, but how is that screwing her? if he gets full custody and she gets some sort of severance pay, alimony or whatever, and he helps her get on her feet and he's providing the life for the kids that the kids deserve, and that has nothing to fucking do with her or the relationship because the kids are in private school accustomed to a certain life. What's going to be worse? The kids going to have to go live in a small ass apartment in another side of town, losing all of their friends, losing their schools, going to a public school now where the quality of education is way fucking less. Like, this isn't about the kids or at all. This is about you wanting to utilize those kids for leverage to make some fucking money. I don't think child support should exist. It needs to be a 50-50 thing, and parents should be able to work that out the way that it's worked out.
Amen.
In the event that a parent steps away completely, child support should absolutely be a thing. But there needs to be a real 50-50 situation there where like both parents are doing things. If there's dental appointments, if there's doctor bills, anything that requires any type of extra income, it should be a, hey, this bill was $1,100 this month. I need half that. Cool. Right? Like child support doesn't dictate that. Child support will say, maybe you got to pay insurance or medical, whatever. We don't know how that looks, but as we become more 50-50, we're seeing the divorce rate go down.
Right.
Because the women aren't able to fucking dip out and get a man for a whole bunch of money. And now they're like, well, I mean, I might as well stay. I can't get paid to live off the fucking, residual income from the work that they're putting in now that I'm not with them anymore. That should never be a thing.
Yeah.
You guys wanted fucking the ability to work jobs and do all of that shit. Go get a job. I understand that she's been a stay-at-home mom for the last 25 years. That was a choice.
Yeah, you could have gotten a job.
She'd have a real hard time getting a job at that point. And if she wanted to leave him, she should find a job and then do that.
Yeah.
Not be like, he would fuck me over the kids.
Right.
Your kids are all grown now, minus the 15-year-old. 15-year-old has a say where they want to be.
That's true.
Yeah. That's an excuse. I don't like that shit.
I agree. All right. Next one says, he called you a gold digger. You've been with him for a quarter century without ownership in anything, and he called you a gold digger. Equal shared. I think that's what that said. Someone said it's equal shared asshole. ESH?
Equally shared asshole, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Him for not committing to you but having 4 kids with you, and you for staying with him and having 4 kids with him. I agree with that. I agree with that sentence. Marrying him at least so you can get equity in your home. He should have put your name on the deed.
Why? They weren't married.
The original poster said yes, because if I were a gold digger, I would have smiled and said yes with intent to divorce him. Instead, I said no because he's just mad about the eye roll.
Oh, here's some updates.
Before we move on to that, yeah, I would have been upset about the eye roll too. He has a right to be upset about the eye roll.
It's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful, right? So this is update number 1, December 18th, 2023. At the time of my original post, my boyfriend and I had not spoken since the engagement fight. I'd been with him long enough to know that when he goes and closes the bedroom door before I get in, that's a signal that I should sleep in one of the guest rooms, so I did that.
Wow.
Okay.
That says a lot about their relationship.
That does say a lot about their relationship. However, this morning I broke the ice. I told him about how dismissed I felt over the years. I also said that we are both in our 50s, and these last few years have taught us that people at work who kiss the ground you walk on one day can easily turn you on the next. And true partners in life are valuable and hard to find, so I'd wish he'd treat me like I'm valued. Instead, he treats me like he thinks prettier, better, and just as loving is always around the corner.
If that was true, you wouldn't have been there this entire time.
Yeah. He could have anybody.
Right. If that's really how he viewed the world, you wouldn't be there.
Right. Right, because if he viewed the world that way, he would believe that he could have anybody. He wouldn't just settle for you. Right. Continuing, I apologized for the eye roll, but told him that if he wants marriage, I want a quick commitment timeline and genuine happiness from him to be marrying me. I don't need a big party. He listened to me and finally asked if this was about the money and security. He told me that being an executive's girlfriend required things from me, but if I wanted to work, I could have. He said he doesn't think I'm grateful enough for the position in society I was in due to his career.
I agree with that.
I agree with that statement too. Just like the offhanded comment of my kids went to private schooling and I got made fun of by the PTA moms.
Yeah.
Like that's rough, but the privilege of that roughness needs to be acknowledged.
Right. And it is a privilege to be able to live that life.
Right. To be able to complain about those specific hardships. Continuing, he said he's not mad about the eye roll. He didn't succeed by being that sensitive. He went on to say that I was not his prisoner, so I could leave him at any time, but to remember he won't tolerate being made my prisoner either via manipulation.
Good for him.
Amen, dude. Hell yeah. You have put yourself into this prison for 25 years and you're blaming him for it.
Yep. There's a real power. So let's fuck me, man. This is one of those things, the difference between want and need.
Yes.
I don't fucking need you. I want you. There's a difference. She could have left at any time because they weren't married. He could have left at any time because they weren't married. He
and it's
wanted
what he
this.
Wanted.
Yes. Yes.
And she stayed out of obligation. She stayed out of need, not want.
Right. And she made it clear in her post.
Yeah, made it very clear. And it's very clear to him now, too. I bet he saw all of that through the 25 years, and that's why he didn't propose.
Probably.
I wonder if him proposing this time was to be like, okay, now this is it. Like, I'm going to propose. Let's see what her reaction is.
Could be.
And it's a fucked up test. It is a fucked up test. Continuing.
He said for what it's worth.
He said for what it's worth, the engagement ring is mine and I could do whatever I wanted with it. He will also not be accused of not providing for his daughter, so be assured he won't shrink child support. But he felt what I said before was emotional blackmail. So he no longer wants to go forward with marrying, but says if I'd like to travel with him, that's fine.
Good for him.
Him traveling is non-negotiable, and so if I wanted to get a job, it would have to be a remote job. It was a sad conversation, and I spent a few hours alone after that. All of your resentment, all of the 25 years of you being the victim, and he is doing this to me, and you choosing to be there, culminated in this self-destructive conversation. And now this is the aftermath that you have to pick up the pieces of.
And he's still willing to bring you along with him.
Right. He's not going to throw you away. He's not going to shun you. But he's not going to marry you now. Everything in life is a decision, and how you respond to things is a decision. Like I said, after 25 years, I would have been hurt. I would have cried. I honestly would have cried. There would not have been eye rolls. Would not have been huffing and puffing. And I would have had a real honest conversation of why now? Like, I need you to understand that I'm fucking hurt. I'm going to say yes. You know I'm going to say yes, but why did you wait? And then I have to be prepared for that answer. I felt like you weren't ready to be my wife. That doesn't mean that I wasn't ready, but you believed that.
Right.
That was your reality, and I have to accept that, right? Continuing, I felt like I had nothing to lose, so I just asked him if he would support me getting an associate's. So she spent 25 years, because she just said, I felt like I had nothing to lose, so I just asked him if he would support me getting an associate's. You can get an associate's while traveling. Like, so many things are done online now, right? But this is telling me, like, all of those 25 years, you believe that you had to walk on eggshells because you didn't get the one thing you wanted, a marriage.
Right.
So because you didn't get that one thing, you believe that you were going to be told no around every corner. You put yourself in a prison, walking on eggshells. You could have gotten anything you wanted at any point because this man was willing to give it to you.
She could have done the associates while they were married. Absolutely.
Right. Like, you could have lived this whole life up until this point and then be excited about retiring with your man.
And it would have been super fucking easy for her to do at that point because her kids were in private school.
Right.
And she was a stay-at-home. It would have been super fucking easy for her to chase her dreams at that point. She chose not to.
Yeah. Continuing, she says, but the most associates for technical careers were in person. He then dropped the bombshell that if I wasn't traveling with him, he wasn't going to go those periods without sex.
That's fair. It's the whole point of being with somebody.
Yeah.
Especially at this point.
Like, he had it in his mind that you guys were getting ready to go retire and live life together.
Right.
And now you don't want to do that anymore.
Yep.
He doesn't want to put his life on hold. I get that. It's fucked up. It hurts.
Yep.
But that's the reality of the situation that you guys are in now.
We're at a point in life where we've done the life thing. The kids are old enough that we can leave.
Yeah.
We can go have sex on yachts. We can fuck on balconies in France. Like, we
go into the jungle of the rainforest.
Right.
Like,
dodging mosquitoes on the balls while I'm beating it from the back.
Yeah.
Like, there's I don't understand. Like, I don't think he's wrong for that. Like, he's at a point now where life is about to, this is the whole reason that we work the way that we work. Like, and it's going to tie into that van conversation when we're done with this thing.
Like I said, hearing that shit would hurt. But like, I scoffed at you asking me to marry you. So clearly I don't want that anymore.
Right.
So I don't really get a say in how you choose to live your life because we have a fractured relationship now. Continuing, I was astounded by his callousness because he's back to take it or leave it. We fought again with me saying we're all feeling the effects of age. I've supported him through health issues And if he thinks he can just find somebody who has that loyalty I've shown him, he's wrong.
You'd be surprised what somebody's willing to do for an inheritance.
Yeah.
And all that stock money and all those investment monies, the dividends that he's getting, if he was to die and he was to will those checks to somebody else through a trust, whoever got that money would continue getting paid.
Yeah.
So if he left her and found a younger woman, and that younger woman understood the kind of money she would get to live off of for the rest of her life, she'd be real fucking loyal until he died, or until he was no longer cognizant enough to put him in a home. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, she controls the estate. You see that shit all the time.
Right.
Fuck out of here with that.
So for her to tell him that he's wrong is delusional, and it's self-soothing.
Yep.
She needs to believe that, because if he believes that, he's not going to leave her. Her future's not threatened.
Right.
Right. You're also going to be really surprised at the loving capability of a lot of women out there. It was just going to be a bonus that he has money.
Yep.
You said that he's intelligent and successful, which means he has ambition. He's motivated. He's determined. He clearly wants to live life. He wants to travel.
She said she took pride in being his woman.
Yep. And there's going to be another woman out there who is going to take pride in being his and treat him a whole lot better.
Yep. At this point,
I'm looking for ways out. I'm going to be honest. I feel like you've been looking for ways out this whole time.
she said she was.
Like, at this point, he's just aware of it.
Yeah.
Continuing, I can't say I haven't been tempted to say I'll travel with him and try to get a remote job, but also realize how resentful I am that he continues to need to have the power in the relationship. It's not about power, you're making it about power. I don't think I'll ever truly know my value, but something tells me there has to be better out there, at least in a partner. All right. If you are that beaten down and you are that victimized and you have had such a terrible life with this person that the one thing that you didn't get when you wanted it is going to be enough to destroy the whole relationship over, go find that better person.
Yeah.
But I guarantee somebody who, right, for me to hear a very successful man who cared about his children and gave them a good life and supported his woman, to hear that he hasn't married her yet, what is she doing? And like, I know that's fucked up to say. That's something that happens a lot in society, that they look at women and say, what is she doing wrong? As a woman, I look at that and I really do have to ask, like, why hasn't he? Like, there has to be combativeness. There has to be, like, you're not a teammate. You're combative. You're stressful. You don't do well when you hear no, like something. Because if he wanted to, he would.
Right. And at 50, it's a different generation.
Right.
So like, they're not red pilled the way that the younger people are.
Yeah. So continuing, this is the last update. So last update from me for a while. I have decided to start sending in applications for work from home jobs such as social media manager, operations assistant, and bookkeeper as soon as I can get a resume together. I have downloaded templates online and I'm looking into displaced homemaker programs. There are some resume tips websites that are saying they have helped homemakers land $60,000 jobs, and I am going to work hard on my resume. I hope that when they see my earnestness in the interview, they would be moved to take a chance on me instead of saying that a white-collar job is too much for me to ask for when I'm willing to work hard.
I'm going to hire the person that can do the job, not the person who wants it.
Right.
And I'm going to pay more for the person that can do the job than the low-level entry person that, you know what I mean? Unless it's one of those things that I just need somebody but can't afford them, then you take what you can get.
Right.
Yeah.
I hate this. I hate that she's going through this. My heart breaks for her. Like I said before, I don't feel bad for her. Like, she did do this to herself. But I can have sympathy for the position that she's gotten herself into. I would be very angry at myself in this moment.
Yeah.
I could have let all of that resentment and anger go and live life for what it was. If it was so important for me to marry somebody, I should have left this man and married somebody who wanted to be married.
Yep.
Right? I am glad that I don't have to be this woman. Continuing, I feel that after running a household with these operations and administration jobs, as well as social media management jobs, since I've done the photography for my family and friends, would be within my scope of experience.
You're a fucking retard.
To say I've done photography for my family and friends, yeah. You can't, taking pictures of your daughters before graduation and prom is not the same as documenting somebody's wedding.
Right.
Right?
It's not even the same as doing headshots.
Yeah. Unless you've sat through courses and understand the technical aspects of all of it, and lighting and posing and posturing and all of those kinds of things.
Photography, cinematography,
The editing process.
all of that is one of the hardest fields to actually make money in now.
Yeah.
And like that's without the AI conversation being involved.
Right.
Everyone has an iPhone. When I was doing wedding photography, my contract actually stated that if there were people using iPhones or iPads or like cell phones taking pictures of the wedding, that I was going to stop taking pictures.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to maneuver around other people or have people have their flash on, triggering my strobe and making me miss shots that you're paying me to do. Right? Like,
I'm wasting my time at this point.
right. I could be like, all right, guys, everybody take as many pictures as you can and then dump them in this Google Drive. As somebody getting married, I would rather have that.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be so many different angles of the same shot of the same shit. Like, what's the point in paying you to do that when all my guests are going to do that shit for free?
Right.
You do photography as a passion thing until you get really fucking good, and then you can start charging.
Yeah.
She's delusional as
She
fuck as a
is.
human being.
She is, yeah. She continues to say, I hope my comments have not come off as spoiled or out of touch. I apologize if that has offended anybody. I'm not offended.
You're dumb.
You look stupid.
Well, I mean, out of touch. That's
Yeah,
fair.
out of touch is
That's
accurate,
fair.
yeah. If anyone got offended by that, I think it's stupid to be offended by that.
Yeah, I agree.
Continuing, what I was trying to say is that I want to be able to rent a studio or a one bedroom in a semi-safe neighborhood. And I've heard that new grads are able to make $45,000 to $50,000 a year semi-remote in business administration or marketing. And then it hits $70,000 to $80,000 in around 5 years, and hope that if I slow my intent to get a certification in those fields, then employers would give me this opportunity to rise up in those ranks. Guys, these number games you hear that you can make up to this amount is the scam that they get you into going to college.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The amount of people that I know who have a piece of paper that say that they passed test and knowing this thing, working out of their field, making less than they were guaranteed to make, quote unquote, guaranteed to make, I would never pay for college. I am so glad I did not go to college.
Yeah. I'm hung up on the numbers of this too, but for a different reason.
Yeah.
She said in 5 years, she could be making this kind of money in that field. She's in her mid 50s. She was 53 at the time of this.
Yeah.
So at this point, if she did this, she would be almost 60 by the time that she was able to do this, which would have been a retirement age. And if assuming, which you should never do, but assuming he's smart with his money, which I think is fair to say,
Yeah.
she's probably got a retirement fund, right? If Roth IRAs, everyone in the household can have a Roth IRA. And if they're within a couple of years of each other and they've been putting the full amount in for the last 30 years and they've got investments, simple Roth IRA, they've maxed out their Social Security, there's money that's going to come in residually every month. She's going to retire in a couple of years anyways. Like, so what's the point in all of that?
It's absolutely, I don't know. I let this be a cautionary tale, guys. Don't stay in a relationship in the hopes you're going to get what you want, because when you finally get it, it's probably going to blow up in your face like this did.
Yeah.
Right? Like, say what you want, make it known what you want, and when people show you that that is not what they also want in tandem with you, go fucking find the person who does.
That's it. Find somebody that you're absolutely compatible with.
Right.
We've said this so much on the podcast that your retirement and your future needs to be aligned. Like, you have to be in alignment with somebody. Otherwise, you're going to end up like this, where retirement looks like two different things.
Yeah.
You know what I would do if I was this woman in this situation? I would go to hair school, cosmetology. I would get because you could do that in less than 5 years.
Yes.
You could get a job right away cutting hair, and then within a year or two, you could open your own spot, and you could easily be making 50 to 60, if not 100 a year.
Right.
Right? Like I know people who own barbershops that are doing just barber, that's not hair salon, that are pulling that kind of money. Granted, it's not like that for every barbershop, but like, you get into doing hair and keratin treatments and fucking extensions and all of that shit. There's ridiculous money in that.
Yeah.
I view that the cosmetology situation as no different than like a man learning how to be an electrician or a welder.
Right. It makes sense.
That's one of those things that's not a high stress, high physically demanding job in terms of physical capability.
And it'll always be in demand.
Right, because women always want to look good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always want to feel pretty. And I want to point out, in like the long con of this woman holding this resentment for 25 years and being angry and then shitting on the proposal when it finally happened, the only person she hurt in this is herself.
Yep.
Her ex-man, if that's what ended up happening, is going to continue to travel and live that life and have money and have a great relationship with their children. Like, he's going to have all the sex he wants because he just said, like, I'm not going to wait.
Right.
So he's going to have a good retirement.
She could have done it with him.
She could have done it with him.
Yeah.
She only hurt herself in this. Continuing, I just need someone to take a chance on me and let me prove that I'm a hard worker. I'm not above applying to big box retailers and such, but the people who work there seem to be all teens or else adults with a dubious criminal past. So for the sake of my safety, as well as the promotion opportunities available with desk jobs, I would like to explore all of my options. See, and this is that fucked up thing too. The man you were with guaranteed safety.
Yep. That's that privileged life she got.
You now are in the world. You're in the wild. You went from that privileged safety protection. I really do like the way that this comes across is she didn't get married when it was on her timeline. She punished him for 25 years, blew up their relationship, and now this is the aftermath. I would not want to be this woman. What a scary fucking life. I would not want to be living by myself. I'm a target for anybody who has a criminal mind to do anything they want to hurt somebody. Like, I wouldn't be able to defend myself. I could have weapons in the house, but if I can't get to the weapons, I already can feel the weakness in my body, right? I want to get back to the gym. I want to start working out and doing all of those things and get myself back to a city of strength. But feeling myself weak now at 30, I can't imagine what I'm going to look at when I'm 85.
Right.
And weak and not be able to defend myself. Having my husband guarantees my safety. And she didn't get married when she'd wanted to. She's giving up so much. She's not just giving up a good retirement with money and traveling. That sense of safety you cannot buy. Anyone can break into a house with an alarm with it. I can call 911, but who knows if they're going to get here in time. Right. Crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me.
I also want to point out that from a criminal standpoint, like there are criminals that will prey on older women or older men because they're easy targets, but those are people that have never gone to prison.
Right.
Right? Like actual people with dubious pasts that have like real convictions don't prey on old people. Like you get a level of protection from convicts.
Just like kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's a code that we live by that you learn after you go to prison that most men don't learn until they've gone to prison because there's no mentorship around young men. And unfortunately, that's where we have to go to get that degree the degree in hard knocks, as they put it. But
isn't that insane?
It is.
That's just men influence.
Right.
Like,
well, there's a lot of men in prison who are regretting being there and not being there for their sons. So you get them old heads in there that's got a life sentence that a young man will come in there and that mentor, they'll take them under the wing and teach them a whole lot of shit and like hope that they're going to go out there and fix their fucking life because those old men don't have an opportunity to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, I'm just planting this seed. I don't know if this is something that we could do, but any way to get one of those old heads on a Zoom call.
I don't know.
To get mentorship out there like that. If we could create videos of men who want to help young men out there and get them out from people inside like that, oh my God.
We'd be able
that would be insane.
It'd be a lot easier to get it from people who have done 15, 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of TikTokers who are, you look at JD DeLay, his TikTok is famous the way that it is because he was a convict.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people that I follow that make content about being in prison and like how their life has changed since they got out. You know, so there's actually a whole influencer base around that type of content now.
Yeah.
So
to finish this up, I will not sell the ring as of right now out of respect for my partner. However, if he shows me any more displays of disrespect, I will sell the ring. However, this woman's a walking disrespect. However, I will do everything I can do to prevent myself from falling into poverty. If that means seeing a lawyer, I will do so. But in my opinion, new grads don't have that much more experience and much less invested in a job, so they can pick up and leave at any time. So I feel I'd be a more reliable hire. This is a relevant comment. It says the OP on the lack of communication in the relationship and taking advantage of her boyfriend. She says, I hope that he also stops blaming me for whatever life doesn't rain gold appreciation down on him. I hope that if he does try to find somebody else to have sex with, because he said that he will not abstain from sex if I'm at home and he's traveling, that he doesn't blame me for when he does not find somebody who will care and love him as I have. When he goes looking for better and doesn't find it.
that's purely a hurt statement.
Yeah, that's an angry lashing out, I want you to feel bad statement. Yeah.
Yeah. There's all kinds of comments that he's just copied and pasted. There's another update from January of 2026 or 26 of 2024. Let's read the update. I don't know how much more of this we have.
Okay, I want to read this second update, and then I want to wrap up because
Okay.
I want to go work on my book.
Okay.
I got my creative juices are flowing, babe. Like since our conversation this morning, like, all right,
That's that teamwork.
yeah. Update number 2, January 26th, 2024. It's been over a month since I last posted, and my life has changed drastically. For those who didn't see my previous post, my boyfriend of 30 years proposed after I begged him for 25 years and had rolled my eyes because it took 25 years and him not being an executive anymore. In response, he retracted the proposal. I really wish this update could have been a positive one, but I'm not doing well. But what remains is hope. Hope in the kindness of others, my grown kids, employers, courts, even my kid's dad. Hope in the value of love that I've given so freely to my kid's dad. Because I was raised to believe even those who don't appreciate the love I've given will even... I don't want to read this. Let's just move on to the van thing. I'm over this woman.
I gotta know. I'm so invested.
Okay.
Just this
God.
update.
I can't stand her.
I can't either, but this is a train wreck and I can't turn away.
Here's what's happened since. Since my kid's dad accused me of trying to keep him an emotional prisoner, I tried to show him I valued his freedom. I gave him his space and showed that I could live life without trapping him. I started doing that right after our discussion. His reaction was anger. After we talked, he started glaring and picking fights after everything. The speed at which I did housework, my spending within his allowance, and cutting it to nearly zero. Asked for the ring back during the argument. I took the comments to my post to heart, in particular advice telling me that if I badgered, I should refuse to leave the house. That if badgered, I should refuse to leave the house. Just a few days after a conversation about the engagement, he picked a fight and accused me of ignoring him. He said he wanted me out. I said no, I deserve to be here. He responded by having a lawyer send me a notice telling me to vacate that day.
Wow.
It happened so quickly, I was too shocked to react.
Oh, I'm so invested. I gotta know. And knowing that there's more updates, I may have to finish this without you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm invested. This is bad.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel so good about my life, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I know that this is why people watch this podcast.
Yeah. You feeling a lot of appreciation from me?
Man, I'm so fucking happy. Because I'm not gonna say that on the podcast. We can talk. You know why?
I know why.
You fucking know why.
I know why.
Okay.
But it feels good that you're being reminded of how good you have it with me.
Yeah. I don't need reminded. I live my life. I know how good my life is. Yeah.
I love that she got served.
Yeah.
Right? Because like we don't know the ins and outs of this, but the takeaway that I'm getting from this is that this woman's a nuisance. And like she has been ungrateful, and she took like the privilege that she had, she took it for granted. Like, I don't know. I feel like she blew her life up because she didn't get what she wanted.
Yeah.
I have no idea what she's like to argue with, what it looked like when she said, like, I can imagine doors being slammed, huffing and puffing, the silent treatment, really making his home unenjoyable. Right? Okay, so my kids were torn between dad's bluffing and trying to leave, but now he's filed to evict. It's up to the courts now. I tried looking for legal aid, but the person I talked to was cold and implied that my status as a mom and partner won't protect me from eviction. Just pause this here. He said, like, he proposed, you had your reaction and was shitty about it and said, I don't want to marry you anymore, but he was still willing to live life with you.
Right.
Now that was taken off the table. And then he asked you to leave. So, like, clearly you've continued to make life worse to the point he's like, here's an eviction notice.
Yeah. She felt entitled.
This went from a man who was willing to continue to travel with you and live life like none of this has happened. We're just not going to get married. They were going to continue to have sex and all these kinds of things.
Marriage was on the table.
And now there's an eviction notice.
Yep. This is the entitlement that people get by being chronically online.
Yeah. Continuing, I've tried sending out applications for office jobs, but told by friends to be kind to myself because if one rejection comes, something better will be along. See, but this is also the reality of it. I want to say within America, we are about 380 million people in America, right? We don't got that many jobs.
Nope.
And depending on where you live, your McDonald's doesn't have enough to sustain a teenage population, let alone the elderly people who are now trying to find jobs.
Right. And a lot of them are, because the retirement money that they make is no longer supplementing the income that they would have made by working.
Right.
It's no longer about them going back to work out of boredom. Now
Right.
it's a necessity. Yeah.
So like this is a part of that risk assessment. Am I going to be able to realistically find a job to live a life that's going to make me happy in my old age?
Right. Yep.
After 25 years, that's a life sentence. I would have held down all that resentment and starting about time, put it on my fucking finger. Now let's go to Hawaii. Like,
Yep. She failed at doing the risk assessment and all of
right?
this.
I would have faked the fuck out of it if I was this woman, right? If I'm not me and I'm not Peaches and I don't have my mindset and I'm this woman, I would have faked the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
I would have lived the rest of my life with this man. Yeah. To avoid all of this bullshit, I'm in a privileged position. There are a lot of women who would love to be where I am at. This man's not beating me. He's not putting me down. He's not calling me names. He's not restricting me in any facet.
Yeah. And don't forget, the first part of this said that she had pride in being his woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continuing. My adult kids suggest I apply for SNAP, food stamps, and I haven't out of shame. They said if I do, and quote unquote dad, and I no longer live together, the government will help me collect child support.
For one kid for the next 3 years. And that's if he doesn't get custody of the kid.
Yeah. And you know what? Fuck you, lady. You don't get to say quote unquote dad. He's not suddenly not the father to these children because this fallout's happening.
Right.
He is still the father to those children. If that's how she meant that. If you are quoting dad because you're quoting the children, I get that. But if this is a malicious thing, fuck you for that. You don't get to take away his dad status because you guys are no longer okay. Continuing, my grown kids say they can't risk upsetting quote unquote dad. My oldest told me that a gas station was hiring night shift and he tried to help once he graduated. Just when I decided to be grateful for the job, they rejected me after an interview where I felt I spoke well. That hurt. But I keep having hope because every day there's new remote and non-remote jobs posted saying they'll train the right candidate. I don't know why women don't look for jobs based in women. I'd be looking at daycares. I'd be looking at nanny jobs, like live-in nanny positions, who like rich people who have fucking attached houses. At 53 years old, you got the life experience.
Right.
I as a
4
woman,
kids.
right? Like we pay Carrie to help with the children.
Yeah.
If we were looking for a live-in long-term nanny and Carrie wasn't an option, I would be looking at an older generation. I would be looking for a grandma who needs to come out of retirement. I wouldn't be looking for some fresh 20-year-old who has never dealt with kids before. Yeah.
Be reaching out like you want to travel the world.
Yeah. Continuing, I'm applying to every corporation, it seems, with hope that one of them will take a chance on me, give me an interview that will ace. See me for somebody pulling herself up. I know my boyfriend wants me to beg, but I don't know if that would make him drop the suit. I just don't know anymore.
I don't think he wants you to beg. I think he wants you to leave.
I think he wants you gone. Right? And see, this is a continuation of that fucked up mindset. At 53 years old, 60 something years old, realistically, if I was a stay-at-home mom for 25 years, I really don't have a skill set. Like I would live with the fact that I have to rely on somebody else to sustain my life. And like I said, I would be looking at wealthy families who want a live-in nanny. I can cook, I can clean, I'll help the kids with their homework. Like I got nothing going on but watching the sun rise and drinking my hot cocoa when it goes down.
Yep.
I would be of service to anybody who would be willing to help provide me a good life.
Yeah.
And that's what that man was doing. He was willing to provide you a good life if you were to be of service.
Yep. It's fucking stupid, but it's a lot.
It is stupid.
I have to pee, so let's get into the van. I've been holding it.
Okay.
So yesterday on episode 14, right?
Yes.
I think it might have been 13.
I have no idea. 13
or 14 of season 4, I had mentioned a van conversation because we were talking about people who are in the rat race of the work life and how there should never be relationships with people who are workless. Like we were having a whole conversation about that. Does that engage?
Yes.
Okay. The conversation that I wanted to have in that situation where I was like, remind me about the van, is that woman had a love interest named Shane that was not willing to work. He was living at home with his mom. He had no real motivation in life. And she was like, you know, he finally got it together and now he's motivated and then we want the relationship, blah, 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 blah. There are people out there who are very content with just enough to eat and are able to buy a van outright used build the van up, get it ready to go so they can live that van life. And that is fulfilling to them. And that is one of those things that like, my animosity, the open admitted hatred that I have for workless people is because of the people who don't want to work but expect everything.
Yes.
For those people that live that van life and they are living in the desert in their van, because there's that whole ass RV community I told you about that's living in Arizona in the desert. It's like 800 or 900 people out there, right? They full barter system, like they're just doing their thing out there, but they had to work hard enough to get the things that they need to go do that. And if they need something, they have to go find an odd job or have some sort of skill, serviceable skill that they can offer somebody to make the kind of money to get gas, to get food, to whatever. That nomad life is fucking appealing to a lot of people. But in order to have that nomad life, you have to have a work ethic to get there.
Yes.
Right? So like you could do a massage therapy. That woman could do massage therapy.
Yeah.
Right? You could be a hairstylist, a tattoo artist, a fucking carpenter, an electrician, a welder.
A marriage counselor.
Any
people got relationships out there in that community.
Right? You could have a whole lot of things that work on a barter system where you have a learnable skill that you can apply to the greater good of the community.
Yes.
This ties into the law of one. Right? This ties into, it is no longer about me, Chris. It is about society as a whole and how can I serve society as a whole. Yeah. This ties into Christianity because I'm supposed to get paid off the fruits of my labor. So if I have a skill set that other people need, I'm able to either trade or barter or get paid based off of these things. This is not I'm not willing to work and therefore you have to take care of me situation.
Right.
And I wanted to just say on yesterday's episode, which will be a week ago for you guys, or maybe the previous Monday, I don't know when this will drop, that if you are looking for somebody and you find a good man and that's their mindset, they want to live life to the fullest instead of selling their soul to a corporation or the job market for the next 50 years of their life just to end up fucking dying right after they retire. Like if you're willing to sacrifice and live that life, you might get a really cool life out of it.
Right.
Right. So like you need to be aware of what you're looking for in people and what people are willing to bring to the table and like what kind of life you really want to live. That then ties into this. She got a privileged ass life for all of her adult life. She's now at a retirement age and is going back into the workforce that she wouldn't have had to do. Right.
She didn't have to do.
Right.
She did not have to do it. She now is making the choice to do it.
Right. And all of this started because she got bitter that he handed her a ring after the fact. All of this started because she didn't like the way that he proposed.
Right. Or when it happened.
He was willing to give her that life, but because it wasn't on her schedule, it became a problem. And now she blew her fucking life up over it.
Right. You know, if that was a conversation where he said, I needed to know that we raised kids together and you weren't going to jump ship and you're still here. I'm ready to get married to you. That would have been a good enough answer for me.
Right.
Like, I get it. I get wanting to make sure that I'm here for the long haul and I'm not using you and whatever the case may be. You're not testing me because that's just the reality. You just need to be reassured of it. Like, wild.
Yeah, but that's your perspective though, right? Because a lot of people would view that as testing.
Yeah.
And even if it is a test, so what, you passed it.
Right.
Right? Like, yeah. All right, I have to pee. Let's quick we'll do the wrap up.
Okay.
I'm going to come back and continue this article with everyone, and it'll be the episode. We'll just cut this out and stick it at the end.
Okay.
So you still get to say goodbye.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
With that being said, guys, remember you are the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.